welcome to my channel. My name is Stevie. This is Stevie Reads, and if you clicked on this video, you are just as nosy as me because you've never seen this face before on YouTube and you want to know what books I'm getting rid of. We are the same. I decided to make my very first ever YouTube video an unhaul because they're my favorite videos to watch. I just think it's a great way to get to know a reader is by seeing what they don't like, because I'm negative. And I'm gonna go really quick because the sun is literally going down and you don't want to hear a big explanation for every reason. So we're just gonna go through every book. Sorry, I'm talking fast. I'm nervous. If you actually see this video in the light of day, your girl got some courage and posted on YouTube. So fingers crossed. The first book is Emily Henry's People We Meet on Vacation. I'm getting rid of this because I read it, gave it 2 stars. I read Beach Read and I did really like that. I gave it 4, but this one unfortunately just didn't really work out for me and I'm gonna never read it again. So I'm gonna get rid of it. Next up is The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. Didn't love it. Didn't love the premise, the plot, honestly. Like, she was a wedding planner who got left at the altar. Kind of weird. But then also the love interest is the man who left her at the altar, her ex-fiance's brother. Like, that's not really romantic. And also just didn't care about the characters. Like, I don't know, really didn't like it. Sorry to Miss Sosa. Mia, I mean, this book's really old. I mean, probably like 5 years or something like that, but yeah, didn't really love it. Gonna get rid of it. Then The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. I loved the first 2 books in this series, but this book was sad, really depressing, sad, and it's a romance. If I'm gonna read a romance, I want to be like happy. Like, doesn't mean that every book I read has to be happy, but like both of these characters were going through it and it just wasn't what I was there for. Also, just will never reread, so gonna make room on my shelves. Speaking of making room on my shelves, next up is The Right Swipe by Alicia Rai. And this one, read it, didn't love it, but I'm a dumbass and I did what I always do, where I got the whole series before I ever read the book. So now I'm getting rid of all 3 of them. I mean, I'm making a lot of room on my shelves, so that's pretty nice, but why didn't I just buy the first one and see if I like it, and then I'd buy these 2? Like, you're wasting your money, honey. I don't know. It's just, yeah, I'm getting rid of it. The Right Swipe, Girl Gone Viral, and First Comes Like. Didn't even attempt these 2. Just, I really thought I was gonna love this first one, but ended up not caring about it at all. Next up, Feed by Mira Grant. I got this because Mira Grant, but I've had it for a couple years, didn't care about it. I bought it at a used bookstore for like a couple of dollars. You can see that it is used, and in my head, that means I didn't waste money on it. If I bought it at a used bookstore, like, girl math, I'm not even losing on this. Like, it just sat on my shelves for a couple years and I never picked it up, but not my fault, you know. I basically paid nothing for it, clearly. And then also Warrior of the Wild by Trisha Levenseller. I do have other books on my shelf by this author that I also haven't read, but I'm keeping because I'm more interested in those. I've only heard very bad things about this. It's young adult fantasy. Sorry, I made that face when I said young adult fantasy. It's just not my favorite genre. I have a whole entire shelf of young adult fantasy, and I think I've read 1 of them this entire year, and it's the end of August. So it's just not my favorite genre right now. It used to be, but I just turned 25. She's grown. Young adult fantasy is just really not hitting like it used to. More romance, Consumed by J.R. Ward. I did finish this and I liked it. I think I gave it like 3 stars. It's a firefighter romance where both the characters are like firefighters on the same team. And it's by J.R. Ward, who wrote that really long vampire series, which intimidated me to the point where, I mean, 22 books in a series. I can't do that. 22 books in a series. I can barely finish a trilogy, and that's if I really put my heart into it, like giving it my all. And so I thought I'd, you know, try J.R. Ward with this one, but I'll never reread it. It was kind of like, yeah, a cute contemporary romance, but never gonna happen again. Like, who needs a who needs a, speaking of contemporary romance, The Bodyguard by Catherine Stenner. Everybody loved this book. Everybody loved this book. Your mom loved it. Your aunt loved it. Everybody loved it. And I didn't. I didn't love it. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't care about it. I didn't care about it at all. Some manga for you manga girlies. I'm getting rid of Happiness Volume 1 through 5. All my Happiness volumes that I have. I read all of these, but the last one I cared zero interest about. Like, I did not care at all, and I finished it and I was like, okay, well, I read all the ones that I bought, but I'm not going to buy the rest of the series, and I'm never going to reread them. I thought I was going to like them a lot more, but it ended up being kind of creepy. I don't know. I mean, it's horror manga, so it's supposed to be creepy, but like gross. I'm like hiding. I don't know. I just didn't really like it. More young adult fantasy, Everneath and Everbound by Brody Ashton. I did try to read this one, but not very hard. I read like 3 chapters and I was like, boring. I don't care. I'll get rid of both of these. These are also like probably 5 years old on my shelf. Like, I really have had them forever and I don't care. My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. I bought this and everybody said it was terrible and I never even attempted it. Like, everyone said this was bad. Nobody had a good thing to say about this book. I'm sorry if you like this book, but nobody else agrees with you. And I can't be on your team on that one. Like, I just can't do it. And then More Than Words by Mia Sheridan. Oh, I'll do these two together because Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. I read this one. This is like her popular book that everybody loves. Read it, didn't care about it. It's a sad romance. That's not what I'm going to romance for. Like, honestly, most of the time it needs to be more happy than sad. But I read this one, didn't love it, wanted to get rid of it. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just get rid of our other Mia Sheridan because I'm just never going to read this one. Like, honestly, I read her most popular one and I didn't like it. What are the odds I'm going to like this one? I just have too many books on my shelf. Too many books, and I don't know my, like, thought process half the time, but I was just like, get rid of both. We don't need it. We're just going to get rid of both. And then The Score by Elle Kennedy. I bought the physical copy of this. I have the first one on the ebook, and this is the second one. Or no, it says Off Campus 3. I don't know anything. But I read the first one, thought it was okay. So I was like, oh, I'll buy this one physically because this is everyone's favorite in the series. Like, I'm going to love this one so much. But I didn't really love this one. The guy was kind of not redeemable in my eyes. Like, I don't even remember what he did very bad because I read this like last year, I think. But if I don't care, I don't care. Next is The Stand-In by Lily Chu. I did like this one because it's like a celebrity, what's that called? Like, Parent Trap swap? No. Not no, that's really not right. I feel like I was going somewhere else with that. What's the movie where they swap? Freaky Friday, but they don't change bodies. Like, the celebrity finds somebody who looks like her and pays her to like swap, and like she wants to be a normal girl and the normal girl gets to be a celebrity. And I'm sure there's a movie that like does that plot. It's just leaving my brain right now. The only thing that's coming is Freaky Friday. Not the same as this. Would have been cool. But I read this and I'm pretty sure the reason I'm getting rid of it is it just like wasn't very like spicy. Like, it was like, ooh, fade to black, and like, you figure it out, you know, which I don't super love, you know. I just, not my favorite book in the world, and that's the reason why I'm getting rid of all of these. Like, I don't need to keep saying the same thing over and over and over again. Twice Shy by Sarah Hogel. Read it, would not reread it. Boom. Read it, would not reread it. Why would I need it on my shelf? Tender is the Flesh by Augustina I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher it. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to say this last name. Switching into some different genres because I was reading romance for a while, so I was just going through my romance. This was a horror book I decided to pick up. Maybe it was during Summerween, or for some reason I was just like wanting to read a scary book. But this book is disgusting. It made me feel like blah. I don't know. I just really didn't like it. It was not my vibe. it was really, 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 really gross. Like, if you're talking about horror, like gory horror, maybe it's for you. Tender is the flesh. Like, if you want to try it out, recommend, I guess. But whoa, 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 whoa. Not for me. And now I know, you know, the more you read, the more you know. And now I know, like, you really can't handle that. That was really gross. Gallant by V.E. Schwab. I think I tried to read this. I think I did. I might have not. I might have not even tried. But, or you know what? I think I finished this. It's so hard. You read so much and then you just forget. Like, this was the beginning of this year. Read it, clearly didn't remember it. I think it's a middle grade. I thought it was young adult, or maybe it is young adult. And it just read really, really, really young adult. Like, if I'm gonna read a young adult, it has to be like older, like teens, not like preteens, you know? Young adult's so broad. Like, it should be like separated a little bit. This reads very young adult, close to middle grade. Just wasn't for me. Didn't really, really like it. Some classics for the classic girlies that, you know, might be watching. Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. Never even attempted it. Hate this cover though. I hate the cover that I got. I got it at a used bookstore. I don't know if I'm going to read this one day, but if I do, it will not be this edition. And that's what that is. The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. I'm never going to read this. Especially not this edition, but I'm never going to read this. This is like I think I got it for school and it's just been on my classic shelf forever. And I'm like, never going to happen. Like, I really, really don't want to read it. Another classic is The Picture of Dorian Gray. Did read this. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. Maybe I'm too dumb for it. I've read classics that I liked before, but I think I listened to this one on audio. Maybe it wasn't the way to go. I don't know, but I don't want to try again. I don't want to try again. I got the cool, like, paper mill press edition. Like, it's like a leather. No, this isn't leather bound. It's like, I don't know. Not a hardback, not a paperback. Somewhere in between. It's got a cute little quote on the back and Mr. Dorian Gray, but not for me. Not for me. Didn't care. Sorry, but I just really didn't care. The Girl from Everywhere and The Ship Beyond Time by Heidi Helig. Didn't even try. Some more young adult. I really just culled my young adult shelf. I didn't read a lot of them. I just went through and was like, not interested, like, in these kind of thing. I read a lot of the romance and, like, got rid of the ones I didn't care about. But the young adult, I was like, you need to make some decisions. Like, I haven't been buying any and I just need to get rid of the ones that I don't want to read, you know? And then The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. I read this for Caitlin from Kate Literature's Patreon buddy read earlier this year. And for her, because she's in New Zealand, she read it during her winter, so it's kind of like cold vibes, but I read it in the middle of summer and I just didn't get like the atmospheric vibes that everybody else got. I think I DNF'd it. If I did finish it, I clearly don't remember it, but yeah, I'm not going to continue in the series and I'm never going to reread this, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Also got it as a used bookstore, so girl math. I didn't even buy it. Romantic Comedy by Curtis Sittenfeld. Didn't finish this, DNF'd it. I didn't like the writing style. I remember the way that it was written. I just didn't like it. I don't know. Sometimes you just pick up a book and you're like, me and this author, we're not vibing. Don't really love it, you know? And then the last two, ending on some more young adult, The Devil and the Deep Blue Sea and Between the Spark and the Burn by April Genevieve Tuck. Me and last names. I'm sorry. I don't know last names. I genuinely, like, I don't know. I don't even know people that I meet's names. I'm really, really bad with names. So anyway, these two books, the first two books, I think it's a trilogy. Didn't even try to read the first one. More young adult that I had just recognized. Like, you're not going to read it. Get rid of it. But yeah, that is the end of this unhaul. That was actually really fun. thank you for staying if you stayed until the end, and hopefully you see me back on this channel again. But yeah, bye.